Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this free video I'm going to highlight one of a handful of trades that we were talking about in the chat room today. Now, we had some great winners in the S&P and in the Russell. We still have an open dollar-yen trade, which I'm looking forward to some follow-through on. But sometimes it's these quieter trades that have been brewing for some time that a lot of traders, I find out after the fact, built some positions in and are doing quite well. And Natty Gas is one of them. And this is like one of those sleeper trades that doesn't get enough credit, where these are conversations that could last for weeks. And we have ways that we can position ourselves into these kinds of trades where we don't have a North Korea narrative that's driving us down to a great buy in the S&P or the Russell. Or things of that nature, or earnings, right? These are trades where we know there's a larger macro picture that's brewing and the right pattern sets up, and there's ways via either taking advantage of an ETF related to the underlying commodity futures or taking advantage of an options position. So this is where it doesn't look like a big move, but this is a very interesting move in natural gas. Now, right now, we're getting word that Mexico is said to have made an offer to the U.S. to reach an agreement in these NAFTA negotiations. The Mexican peso is doing very well, and I think you're going to see natural gas will also benefit. But the play wasn't today. You know, this is what we always try to do in the room. How can I set you up to sometimes take advantage of these macros, and sometimes with days, if not weeks of lead time? And this is one of those trades that we said would probably take off in May. It's now taken off the latter part of May. So the early part of May, we were thinking to ourselves, well, let's wait for a move down into this range and start building a position long. And you can see here the timing was based upon a certain expectation that we would have the NAFTA deal settled. Okay, so we'd have the NAFTA deal settled. And then once that happened, we'd start to see the market take off, because Mexico and the U.S. have a very close relationship with the Natty Gas, natural gas, that Mexico imports from the U.S. And I actually believe we will continue to see higher highs here in Natty Gas. But here's where the trade was. You know, mostly you'll hear people talk about the trade on this candle or even today's candle. But this is where the trade was. This is where understanding the underlying market trend highlights opportunities like this and gets you long. And this is the trade that requires some patience, no doubt about it. But, you know, for those of us that were waiting for word that there was a certain inevitability to a NAFTA deal, that was May, and then took advantage of about a 3, 4, 5 day window to build a position, whether that was straight up with Natty Gas, whether that was something like an option, an at-the-money option, a call on Natty Gas. I mean, these are all things that we were looked at to build a position here. So this is probably the position of the big trades we had in S&P and Russell. This is the one that I'm probably most proud of, because it shows where you have some patience and understanding for some macro. You can, in a very low risk and quiet way, make a very, very profitable trade. I'll see you in the next update.